All right, guys, happy Thursday. Today we are going to continue our multiplication, work on things that are a little bit trickier. I know we did some 3 digits here, but we're going to work on 3 digits and more. I know you can do the 2-digit because we practiced that here and also here again. Hopefully you're remembering that with multiplication, we call our answer the product. It's our result of multiplication. So we are going to work on some more examples today, making sure that you are understanding how to do multiplication in the standard way. Remember, we talked about using the dot and the parentheses, so I don't want you to get scared when you see those types of things. So I am now going to turn into the next open page in my notebook, and I'm going to put the date. Today is the 17th. And we'll say multiplication continued. C-O-N-T period. I won't write out the whole word for you. Alright, now let's start out with just a tad warm up. So how about 652 parenthesis 16 close parenthesis. Now remember that parenthesis means multiplication, so we can write that as 652 times 16. Again, I'm still lining them up vertically, but it's not quite as important with multiplication, right? 6 times 2, we start with this 1, is 12. Good, we're going to carry the 1. Then we say 6 times 5. What is it, guys? 30, but we can't forget this one we have to add to it. So 30 plus 1 is 31. And now we're carrying the 3, so we have 6 times 6. Do you guys remember that one? Good. 36 plus the 3 is 39. Okay. Now I'm going to scratch off these so they don't get us confused, and I'm going to move over to the 1. But in order to start multiplying by the 1, I have to hold its value. It's in the tens place, so I can't start writing any answers until this tens place here. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6. Then we're adding, and it's so important that we're doing this neatly so that our place values are lined up. Otherwise we'll get all goofed up. So 2 plus 0, 1 plus 2, 9 plus 5, and 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. So now, we could have had commas here, right? And that helps us to see where we're lined up. Does that seem reasonable? I'd say yes. Because 600 times 10 would be about 6,000, but that number would move it closer to 20. So 6 times 2 would be 12,000. So we know somewhere between 6 and 12,000. So 10,432 seems pretty reasonable, guys. All right, I want you to try this next one. It's a little bit tougher. 317, open parenthesis, 244. Remember, parentheses and dots still mean multiplication, so we're still working on multiplication. So we're going to write this as 317 times 244. Okay? So we're starting in the ones. 4 times 7. You guys pause your video and try this on your own. 4 times 1 plus 2. 4 times 3. Now we have to hold the place of the 4. And it should look very similar, right? Because we just multiply by 4. So 4 times 7, still 28. 4 times 1 plus the 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Do you see how even though we're multiplying by the same number, this is really multiplying by 40, so we had that 0 here. Now we're going to hold the place value of the 1s and the 10s because now we're multiplying by the hundreds. So we have 2 times 7, which is 14. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. So 8, 14, remember we're adding, 12. It's so important that our place values are all lined up neatly. 2, 4 plus 3 is 7. 6 and 1 is 7. Okay? Now, I want you to try a word problem. So what if Johnny had 250 students in his class? Now that's fairly okay, right? Because now that you're in the middle school, and once you get into high school, you're going to have much bigger class. Like everyone in your grade is considered in your class. So if there are 250 students in the 6th grade class, and each of those students needs $48 each week, or even, what if you need even more than that? What if you needed $634 each week? And I asked you how many you needed total. So you have to take the number of students and multiply it by how much each one of those students needs each week to figure out how much everyone needs total. Okay? So again, we're finding the product. I want to show you a little trick. Anytime you have a 0 here, I would put that in the bottom. So it doesn't matter with multiplication and addition what you have on the top and the bottom. It does matter with subtraction and division though, but since we're doing multiplication, we can write it either way. So I'm going to write 634 at the top, and I'm going to write 250 on the bottom. This is going to make it easier, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now, 0 times anything is just 0. So I can skip right on to the next one, but I still need to hold its place value. So now I'm only multiplying by 2 digits, the 5 and the 2. So go ahead and do it on your own. Pause the video. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. 5 times 6 is 31. Well, it's 30 plus that 1, right? Now I need to hold the place value of the 2. So I have a 1, a 10, and now I can start multiplying. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Then I'm adding. I'll show you we'll get the same answer. Right? Are you guys able to add that on your own? Remember, you're pausing the video to try and do this math on your own, right? Now, I could do it the other way too. I could say 250 times 634, but then it's going to be a lot more work. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Okay, now I have to hold the place of the 3 before I can multiply. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now I have to hold the place of the 6 because it's in the hundreds place. So if 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Now see how I have to add 3 numbers here instead of the 2? Because I switched it, made it a little bit easier there for us. But we should still get the same answer, right? Because I just told you could do multiplication and addition in either order. Did we get the same answer? Yes, bingo, bango. So you need a total of, we should probably label that, right? $158,500 each week. All right, happy Thursday. Remember, Google form and your assignment. Tomorrow, there will be a quiz on what we've done this week.